Welcome to the Rust Farming 2.0 encyclopedia, which details exactly how farming works in the new 2.0 update, including genetics and what they mean, and how to get the best ones, and also how to use sprinklers and lights and the stages of growth in plants. Essentially everything to do with farming and keeping a good farm up, I'll teach you. I also have personal experience with the new update, as I built a functioning farm in my actual wipe, and I know all the things I've had to do to get the farm going personally, not just from patch notes. So the genes in plants you can see under the genetics. So these genetics are slightly more advanced because they've already went through the stage of selecting new genes, and that's why it has a top layer and a bottom layer with the black one and the red one. And you can see they kind of follow a path. It goes X, Y, H down to W instead of going through the Y, and then up to the G. Now the up and down don't really matter, but it just matters that it chose the W instead of the Y. And the reason it must have done that is because the ones around it have the W in that place. You see this one's got a W in the fourth, and this one's also got a W in the fourth. So this one chose a W in the fourth because of the neighbors next to it, instead of choosing a Y. And I'm gonna tell you what all the letters mean now. The W stands for water requirement, and the H stands for the hardiness, aka how well it does in the cold and how well it does with temperature. The G stands for how fast it grows. The Y stands for the yield, or how much you get when you harvest it. And the X is a blank gene, which will get filled in by the neighbors next to it. So you can see this one's very good with hardiness, so it's going to be good in any temperatures. And it's also got a G for the growth. And it's also got a W's. It's got many W's, 3 W's, which means it's going to use quite a fair bit of water. So that's the quick summary of what the genes are and what each letter means to the plant when you're growing it. Alright, now with conditions, the first one to go over is light. Now, I use ceiling lights because at daytime, you're only going to get natural light. Now, at nighttime, you're not going to get any, which means your plant won't have any conditions on light, which is pretty bad. Also, you need the floors up here to place your sprinklers on to make sure you get water saturation, which is the next condition. Now, water saturation, when you turn on the sprinklers, the water doesn't actually go on the plants, it goes in the planter boxes, which is important to why the sprinklers should not be just spraying around here and stuff. It should be on the actual planter box to make sure you get all the water on the planter box. And each planter box can hold 9 liters of water, and you basically want to keep spraying water onto them until they use that, and the plants themselves will take water from this and they'll use it up and get higher water saturation. And then the next one is ground, which ground you get higher by using a composter and putting fertilizer in it. And it also means not just planting your plants in the floor. Like if you actually have them in planter boxes, which I really do recommend, it makes them grow like almost double as fast. And then for temperature, basically means if you're in the snow, it's not going to do very well. I'm pretty sure if you're high up and it's colder, it's not going to do as well. Just basically you can see on your bottom right, it comes up with the temperature. If it's too high or too low, it's going to tell you. And then it's overall. And the overall basically just matches the lowest stat which comes up there. Right now it's water saturation, because my sprinklers haven't been on all the time. And water saturation is 72, which means the overall is going to be at 72. And you can see this with everything. It just picks the lowest stat. Ground's at 67, so this one's 67. Yeah, it's pretty easy to see. And that's going to be all of the conditions. That was relatively easy, and we're going to the next one. Alright, so this is a farm that I have currently in my wipe right now. Now, it's not ideal with the power. Right now I'm using solar panels without a battery, so they do turn off at nighttime for now, but I'm looking to get a battery to fix that. And the power does come from 2 solar panels. It goes to a root combiner, which you don't actually need, but I'm just using it to make it more simple for when I get a battery. And that goes into a light right here. It goes into the floor, into the light, and then that passes through to all the lights using the pass-throughs, of course. You can see this, I'll show it here. So it goes through the floor, it goes through all the lights like that. And don't mind the generator, that was just an old thing for testing it when I first got it. And yeah, that's how the lights work, and light is a very essential part of the system, as without light, they're not going to grow very well at all. Now, the next thing I have to say is there's light and then there's water. And water, I can go up here, I've got my water catchers. And my water catchers, they'll catch water over time, but they're not very fast. So what you're going to have to do is get some water jugs and just fill them up every now and then. And I've got almost 6 liters in there, and you can see it runs out quite fast with 3 sprinklers. and you do need a fair bit of sprinklers. So it goes down to here, and it passes through all of them just like I did with the lights. But that is going to be my encyclopedia of the Rust Farming 2.0 update, and I hope you learnt a lot. And if you did learn how to farm, please leave a comment or a like or a sub on my YouTube channel, and I'll appreciate it a ton. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.